and now the ramp is picking it up. This makes no sense whatsoever. Oh, whoa. Let's talk about that for a second. The V8 Wrangler is real. And in this video, we're gonna watch the reveal from Jeep. Hey everybody, it's Bubba with X's 4x4, and we build badass Jeeps. Well, I know I said it. It's, for lack of a better word, bullshit. In my opinion, I think they're just toying with everyone's emotions. They're trying to steal a little bit of the thunder from Bronco. I didn't think they'd make a V8 Wrangler, but it turns out they did. And so, Jeep's releasing the video at 11 a.m. today, and we're gonna check it out. So let's get started. I'm gonna watch this video and eat crows since I said this wasn't gonna happen, and it did. So, let's see what this is all about. Oh, that's cool.
Hello,
He's wearing a mask.
And thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to talk to you about the Jeep brand, our past, our present, and our future.
This guy was made for TV, the way he talks.
You'll find Jeep vehicles bringing joy to their owners. And now, our community is taking it to the next level with ducking. You've seen this, right? Simply put, Jeep owners are writing messages on little rubber ducks and leaving them on other Jeep vehicles. All
right,
just to spread.
I can't believe this guy's actually in the middle of the most anticipated reveal in Jeep history, probably. He's talking about ducking, which to me is stupid. I think the whole duck thing is dumb. And here we're gonna waste our time talking about ducking. Okay, whatever.
Still proving our prowess. The Jeep 4x4 that I stepped out of is a 1941 Willys. It was the vehicle that started it all. Born
to serve the MB, or GP as it was referred to.
Then Cherokee, or XJ.
The
it made
XJ.
its well-received
I'm gonna bring
debut
the
in
XJ.
1984, bringing with it the expanded pop. Next up was Wrangler JK, our 4x4 capability leader, which gave access to a greater audience with the first four-door Wrangler. And I'm sure.
So I guess the history lesson started to make sense.
That's why we don't create Jeep vehicles in a vacuum. We listen to you, our fans, and work to deliver what you are asking for. And the Grand Wagoneer is headed into production. Second, Wrangler 4xe. Now the numbers aren't in yet, but I've personally experienced up to 25 miles on pure electric range, and we're estimating 50 mpge, all while making this Wrangler the most capable ever. Jeep fans asked for it, and we've delivered. That's a lot of background.
I don't think Jeep fans asked for it. It's more like
but what are we doing today?
Federal government demanded it.
We're doing
whatever.
The commemorative 80th anniversary badge lets others know that you're celebrating along with us.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
Dedicated 24/7 owner support.
Imagine that people are
peace
like
of mind
pulling their
when traveling,
hair, waiting for
VIP
this guy
access
to
to
shut
exclusive
up
Jeep brand
and
events,
talk about
and of course, access to the best dealer network.
A few minutes later.
And now, next up is the Jeep Wrangler that truly sets the pace.
This is a pretty cool ad. I started seeing this
Today,
this
everything
morning, I think.
changes. Because today, the rules of speed have been rewritten.
So I got to give it up to whoever's in charge of the marketing for this project. They freaking killed it. They really did a great job of overshadowing anything Bronco's doing right now. So good job. I think it was teased a little bit. How do I put this? I mean, one Instagram post in July, and then one, a few months later. I think they should have done a better job in that area, but as far there's just too much vagueness out there. I mean, we knew it was coming, but these videos that they made they started putting out in the last few days are pretty awesome.
No longer are they tied to ribbons of asphalt and slabs of cold, hard concrete. This is an entirely new kind of speed.
0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Anybody really cares about what 0 to 60 is in a Jeep Wrangler.
We're talking about the power to flatten mountains, the speed to shrink continents, and the raw capability to blaze a trail anywhere. So pioneers, take your mark. Because this speed isn't interested in pit stops. It doesn't care about checkered flags, and it abides by no rules. This speed has a mind of its own, and all it wants to do is get dirty faster.
All right. Kind of cool. Just drove up a ramp, and now the ramp is picking it up. This makes no sense whatsoever. I don't get it. I have no idea what this means.
What does this mean?
Very confused. And I feel like we're about to have an epileptic fit. All right, we're lowering it back down. Still strobing for whatever reason. Now, the first thing that I notice here is how freaking awesome the half doors look. This is the first time I've really paid any attention to them. Looks awesome, just like they do on any Jeep. Not sure how they would look on a Gladiator. There's pretty suspenseful music going on. Man, granite crystal is really pretty. The guy is sitting in the Jeep wearing a mask. I feel like, am I supposed to be wearing a mask right now? Because these guys are all by themselves in the Jeep wearing a mask.
Now that's how you make an entrance. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. A Jeep vehicle as extreme as this requires an extreme display of capability and power. So there you have it. Now, when we revealed the 392 concept back in July, hundreds of detractors said we were just making noise and that we would never produce it. Well,
So I'll admit,
think
I was one of
great-
those people that back when they first teased this, that they wouldn't actually make it because the timing was suspicious. You know, the Bronco release coming out, of course, Jeep trying to grab some of that attention. It seemed like a good time to drop it. Plus, they were using pictures of the concept vehicle. I mean, they make concept vehicles every year. They've made some really wicked ones that probably would have done well in production, but they didn't. So, of course, a lot of people were on the fence about whether or not this would happen. And me, I was too, not because we were about to start doing V8 swaps, but because it just seemed too convenient. There wasn't anything hard out there, just Instagram post, and that's it, nothing else. Yeah, I was definitely one of those people that was skeptical and said this isn't gonna happen.
In saying that the new 2021 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 production has already started, as the Wrangler 392 goes on sale in the first quarter of 2021. This is the quickest, fastest, and most powerful Wrangler to ever exist. We're talking 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds and a 13-second quarter-mile time.
Well, now we can finally drag race our Jeep Wranglers. Like, it's so stupid. I don't know why they're bragging about that. It's not why people wanted the Wrangler to have a V8, I guess. I don't know, but it's kind of a stupid thing to bring up.
All courtesy of a 6.4-liter V8 engine that generates 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. These numbers tell a story about capability and...
All right, so it's saying it's 470 foot-pounds of torque, 470 horsepower, which is still, that's amazing, that's awesome. Kind of lame though. I mean, if we're installing the ones that we're installing for America's Most Wanted and they have 505 horsepower, then, I mean, it's kind of lame, but whatever.
and performance. Here's what else you need to know about the torque. Nearly 75% of the vehicle's peak torque is available just above engine idle speed. Now this is critical for delivering exciting performance, whether it's enabling...
So this is pretty cool, but it's not like it's anything really new. I think this all has to do with VVT, but that's awesome that you get all this torque right out the gate, just above idle speed, which is pretty awesome. Talking about people out there bragging about how these supercharger kits and stuff, I'm not gonna name one of them, but let's say a Root style supercharger bolted on a 3.6, how it has all this power and all this stuff. Yeah, but when does it have all that power? Are you getting 75% of the max torque produced right above idle? No. That's where the V8s come in. That's the difference between the V8s and supercharging the V6.
4.5 seconds 0 to 60 or crawling up the steepest of grades.
We're gonna talk about that.
But numbers only tell part of the story. Wrangler Rubicon 392 is so much more than just an engine. It's an engineering feat. From the frame reinforcements to the beefed up driveline components to increased cooling and heat extraction delivered through the grille of a Gladiator, dual exhaust, and fortified components all engineered to work together. This vehicle is unlike anything in the market or the aftermarket. And by the way, there's still more, because Wrangler Rubicon 392 delivers the best of both worlds: powerful performance and legendary 4x4 capability. It has greater ground clearance.
So he's bragging like that it's better than anything in the aftermarket. I don't really know where he's getting that from yet. Maybe there's something hidden in the video yet to see. And even if it is, I mean, that's an easy call to make, considering the aftermarket's done all the work, most of the work for you, that you could just come in with your teams of engineers and designers and do something better. Of course you're going to do something better, but kind of a weak claim to make, considering it's been going on for over 10 years, you know.
Greater approach and departure angles, greater suspension travel, and greater maneuverability. It also has an impressive 32.5 inches of water fording capability.
Because we know how important it is to be out there fording the rivers and these things. Who the hell is going to buy this Jeep? You know, maybe a couple of YouTube jerks are going to do this, but how many of you are going to buy this vehicle and go through so much water it can go over the hood?
Rubicon 392's potent powertrain meshes with heavy-duty, wide-track Dana 44 axles, a 373 final drive ratio.
Oh, whoa. Let's talk about that for a second. All right, so we're going to give you 470 foot-pounds of torque, and we're going to trust you with these Dana 44 axles and 373 gears that you're not going to go ahead and like throw some 37s on them. Give me a break. People out there already throwing 40s have been throwing 40s on these things for forever. That's going to be interesting to see. I guess we'll stock up on some ring and pinions here at the shop.
A 2-inch factory lift, 33-inch KO2 tires on 17-inch beadlock capable wheels.
So they're giving you an extra 2 inches of lift. More than likely that has something to do with clearance because of the engine. I'm not sure what that would have to do with anything else. They probably needed that to bump stop something out and make sure that the engine was going to be safe in there.
Check out the interior. There's a competition-inspired leather-wrapped steering wheel with thumb bumps, and there's a steering wheel mounted paddle shifter that will deliver crisp shifts.
Okay, this is freaking awesome right here. They're giving us paddle shifters on this Jeep, and that's pretty wicked. I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably be upgrading my steering wheel and my Gladiator to this. This is an awesome feature. I'm looking forward to it, and I don't see why the rest of us can't be able to buy the steering wheel down the road. I would hope that it's going to be plug and play somewhere. That's pretty wicked.
Shifts to help maximize acceleration at launch on the street and give you extra control on the trail. And when you feel that launch, you'll appreciate the performance-inspired integrated upper bolsters in the front seats. They're comfortable and secure. The Wrangler 392 delivers the best of...
So giving us extra bolstering in the seat because it's a 392. I don't know if this is right or not, but I think that they did the same thing in the Mojave. So basically, they're just taking the Mojave seats and putting them in here. Why not just make these nicer seats standard in all Jeeps so that they don't suck as much as they do? But whatever.
Now, if you're looking for something more after you purchase your 392, Jeep Performance Parts will be ready with everything you'd expect and more. This includes upgraded axles, lift kits, and wheels to accommodate even larger tires, as well as over 300.
So they're saying right here, there were going to be axle upgrade options, not what people wanted. They were thinking they'd be able to get Dana 60 upgraded, and that's not going to happen. So it's looking like they're just going to have different axle housings set up that you could get up to 538 gearing. So why would you do 538 gearing? That's insane. First of all, I strongly urge you people do not be putting 538 gears in Dana 44s with a 6.4 or a 392 Hemi. Don't do that. That's suicide. I think you're going to be snapping some pinions off in these things with that much power. I would imagine you're probably going to want 37s or something like that, but why would you be upgrading all the way to 538s with this engine unless you were going to be running bigger tires? And trust me, people, these axles are not going to hold up to this much power, so don't do it. It's 33s and 35s.
Other accessories that go through rigorous testing and validation, only available through their Jeep team of engineers.
This is pretty cool.
Wrangler
Like they're
Rubicon
completely
already had
disassembling
the
the
most
Jeep piece
airflow
by
of
piece.
any SUV in the marketplace, but Rubicon 392 required even more. Regardless of the terrain or the weather,
This looks like
Jeep
they
engineers
just stole this
ensured that
from
the Wrangler
Guardians of the
Rubicon
Galaxy.
392's V8
Avengers
got fresh
Endgame?
air that is
Yeah.
critical to its performance. A functional hood scoop feeds the engine with cool, denser outside air. Our engineers also created a new hydro-guide
Okay,
air
we're gonna
intake system
go
that
treat
separates
this like
clean
it's a
air
submarine.
from the water and
Like, give me a
discards these
break.
engine-crippling compounds.
Don't
This
do
enables
this.
the Wrangler
Just
Rubicon
don't do this.
392 to clear deeper water than any Wrangler before it, up to 32.5 inches deep, even if a bow wake washes over the hood. Now, should the hood scoop become blocked with snow, mud, or debris, the Wrangler Rubicon can still reach its top speed thanks to a secondary air path.
So this is really cool. The hood that they designed for this thing, I gotta admit, is pretty sick. Apparently, it's able to divert up to 15 gallons of water per minute. Well, that's pretty awesome. I don't know why, because I never would drive my Jeep through that much water, but it's cool. It's definitely a cool engineering trick.
Within the hood structure. Now, while you're appreciating all the power and performance that's in this new Jeep Wrangler, I also want you to notice a couple of other things. A unique desert bronze set of accents and an exhilarating, unmistakable V8 sound. And it's not fabricated through the speakers. It's delivered through an all-new dual-mode exhaust that will help you quietly escape from the suburbs, and it will be unmistakable on the trails. With electronic
So that exhaust is pretty sick. Let me see.
controlled baffles, I think this is the best sounding Jeep Wrangler
Electronic
ever.
control baffles. So
creating
they're
this new-
saying you can like have quiet mode, I guess. So you can kind of drive around with that everybody knowing you got a V8, and then you can like open up the baffles on this thing or whatever and make it scream and let everybody know you got a V8. Because I get in trouble by my wife all the time for that.
We decided to resurrect another enthusiast favorite feature, half doors. And
Oh,
this
we're gonna talk
isn't
about
just
half
for
doors.
Rubicon 392. These are factory orderable options on all Wranglers starting now. At Jeep, we're continuing
Cool,
to
you can order
redefine
half doors if
open
you
air
want.
freedom. The Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 will deliver an all-new level of driving excitement and customization. One that
Those
combines
retractable
performance
tops,
on both
those
the
power
pavement
tops are
and
so-
the trails.
I'm not a fan.
One of the most
If you have one,
customized
I'm sorry.
vehicles in America. Our authenticity is not only driven by 80 years, a badge, or a name, but by you, our drivers. Drivers who pour their weekends into customizing their vehicles, riding trails, crawling over rocks, conquering mountains, going fast in the sand, or leisurely cruising
I
down
like
the
going
beach
fast
with
in
the
the
top
sand.
off, driving anywhere life takes you. So here's to the next 80 years of freedom, adventure, authenticity, and passion that you can only get in a Jeep vehicle. Thank you very much.
All right, so here's what I think. I think it's freaking awesome that Jeep is doing this. I think it's pretty cool. I think there's a lot of people out there that are gonna jump on this. Hopefully they're safe about it. They don't overdo it on the tires or anything like that and cause any failures. I'm gonna guess that if I was to put a number on this, we're looking at somewhere around the $70,000 mark. I don't think it's gonna be as cheap as what some people are wanting it to be. 33-inch tires, lame. That's a fail right there. This thing should be coming with 35-inch tires. I think it's gonna drive the Bronco market to do some crazy stuff. It's not like the Ford engineers woke up this morning and found out about this. Obviously, they know about it, and they probably knew just as much as Jeep knew before 11 a.m. this morning. So I'm sure that ever since they started the development of the Bronco, that they probably have a V8 option in mind for it after the first year probably. And I think that the people that are really gonna win in this are gonna be the second owners of this Jeep. They're not gonna be paying the premium that all the first owners are gonna be paying for them. So second owners are gonna end up with a really, really nice Jeep that they can build off of and not have to pay that initial premium price that all the first time buyers are gonna have to pay. So anyways, that's all I got. For more cool videos about Jeeping and other off-road stuff, click here.